So Jeremy, I'm so happy you're here with us today. Thanks for coming in.
Great to be here, Cath.
Now listen, you are the founder and director of an organisation called Ski NZ. Tell me about that.
It's a jet ski event that runs for a week, and we run it every year, and it's to raise funds for the Melanoma Foundation, and also to raise the profile of the Melanoma Foundation. I had melanoma in 2006, so it's close to the heart, and it's also something that kills about 300 New Zealanders every year.
Wow, that's huge.
The real tragedy about that is that 90% of them didn't need to die if it was detected early.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're trying to do, is educate people about melanoma. So the jet ski event runs for a week, and we do it around a different part of the New Zealand coastline every year. And coming up in March, we're doing Napier to Tauranga around East Cape.
You're doing Napier to Tauranga on a jet ski?
Yes, over 7 days.
Oh, okay.
That's not so bad.
Still a lot. How far would that be?
It's about 700 kilometres.
Wow, that's got to be. That's going to make your butt hurt, isn't it?
Mine's sort of all worn out from doing it before, but I'm sure some of the new people might suffer a little bit.
We've got a special cushion for you there, haven't we?
That's right. Yeah.
So, and how many years have you been running this for?
This will be the third year coming up in next March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been fairly successful already. We raised 93,000 in the last one.
93,000.
Yeah.
From a week's jet skiing event.
Well, you get some wonderful people come along on it, and they're so generous, and they're all dedicated to the cause. It's just amazing to watch.
How amazing. And how does it work? So what actually happens at the event?
Well, we just go riding every day for maybe 100 kilometres, and then we might leave Napier. We're leaving Napier on day one, and then we'll end up at Mahia Beach for the first night, and then the second night we'll end up at Gisborne, and we're going to hold a charity auction in the fishing club there at Gisborne on the second night. Hopefully we'll raise a fair bit of money towards the total from that. And just every night we end up in a different place. It's really fun, very social, and everyone has a great time.
So can you enter as an individual, or is it in teams? How does that part work?
You just enter as an individual, just front up with your jet ski and on a trailer, and someone to drive it for you, drive your car for you while you're riding, and it's too easy.
Yeah, sounds good. Now listen, you have a number of world records for jet skiing.
I do. I've got 3. I guess the one I'm most proud of is the 24-hour longest distance record, 2,287 kilometres.
In 24 hours? From start to finish?
Yes.
So no breaks?
No breaks.
No sleeping?
No.
No going to the bathroom?
Oh, I had to do that.
So do you stop? Do you have pit stops?
We had to stop every hour for a refill.
Right, okay.
And I had a setup so that I could go to the toilet off the back of the ski while I was riding, so no more detail required on that.
I don't know.
Same as a glider pilot would have.
So listen, and you are a pilot. You're an actual airline pilot, is that right?
Yes, I fly 747s for Qantas.
Well, I heard a rumour that you were only 30 when you started flying 747s.
Oh, that was when I became a captain. Yeah, I started as a second officer when I was 24, and when I was 30 I made captain.
That seems awfully young. Is it?
No, it was at the time, but it's it's a lot of hard work, but it's also the luck of the draw, depending on how the airline expands at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. So tell me a bit about what kind of skills and attitude it takes to achieve those world records.
I think it's something I got from the job, and that is the ability to focus for a very long time, even when you're tired, and not sort of relax and go off task.
So for 24 hours, there must be moments where you think, actually, I really want to sleep right now.
Oh, no, definitely. But if you do that, I mean, it was constant fear as well, so that keeps you awake.
So the fear of...
Well, it wasn't so bad during the daytime, but at night it was pretty tight where we were riding, and I didn't have any lights or anything, so I was basically just going on memory and on a GPS at 110 kilometres an hour the whole time, full throttle.
Wow. So it's not even just the endurance of staying awake, it's actually the hazards of the landscape as well.
That's right.
Okay.
But the physical side of it is nothing compared to the mental side of it.
Yeah, the mental side. So what kind of thoughts went through your head?
Well, got to stay alive. I have a family. I have children.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Well,
I guess,
yeah.
You set goals, but that was to raise awareness for the Melanoma Foundation as well. And when you have something you're trying to achieve as well, it makes it a whole lot more important and also easier to achieve.
Yeah, do you know, I'm always saying to clients, you can do anything if the why is big enough.
That's right.
You know, if your goal, your reason, family is a really good reason to stay alive, right?
Absolutely.
So as well as all your jet ski adventures, you've written a book.
That's right. I wrote one after I rode around New Zealand in 2006 to raise awareness of skin cancer. So it's basically about the ride, but it also includes a whole lot of other interesting stuff, a bit of stuff about flying.
So, and is it facts and figures? Is it your experiences? What's the flavour of the book?
It's a little bit of a history lesson on New Zealand's coastline and a bit of geography and all my experiences and emotions going around that 23-day ride, which was, it was at times terrifying and other times really fun.
Yeah. So we get to enjoy that roller coaster with you by reading the book.
That's right.
Perfect. But your track record of success goes back a long way, doesn't it? You were, early in teens, you were doing athletics.
That's right. Yeah, I was a New Zealand middle distance champion from my age.
Yeah.
It was just something I found I was pretty good at, but I also had to work very hard. So, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thought, because from the outside, it looks very easy.
No, there's a lot of work involved. There's not a great deal of natural talent here, I can tell you. It's all hard work.
I think he's been a bit humble, everyone.
But I'm easily bored. So what I've done through my life, and I'm really happy looking back on it, is that when I've achieved something really good, then I say, okay, what's next? And I'll go somewhere completely different. And so there was the athletics, and then there was the flying, and then there was the jet ski world records, and there's been some crazy jet ski events along the way as well that I've done, personal ones like the London attempt to ride from London to Sydney.
On a jet ski?
Yes.
And how did that end?
It didn't end well, actually. It ended in a Greek helicopter, a Greek Air Force helicopter in a storm in the Mediterranean. So, but that probably wasn't the most funny part of that whole ride, is that we got our jet skis stolen in Bulgaria for 2 days. Yes, and the funny part about that was, well, it wasn't really funny, but looking back on it was that we weren't even supposed to be in Bulgaria, because at that area on the Danube River, Romania's on the north side and Bulgaria's on the south, and we'd cleared customs into Romania but not Bulgaria. But because there was no towns when it got dark, we snuck into this little town in Bulgaria. In the morning the jet skis were gone, and so we had to call the police and say, well, we've had our jet skis stolen. Well, it didn't take them long to figure out that we weren't supposed to be there, so because they didn't have any criminals to lock up, they threw us in the slammer.
So you spent time in prison as well?
Well, yes, only a short time.
Jeremy's done time.
I look like that sort, don't I?
You look so suspicious.
I know.
We have all sorts in here, don't worry about it.
Yes.
So listen, in summary, this track record of success and this constant pursuit of goals, what advice would you give to somebody? Because it's easy to be successful once or a little bit here and there, but the continuity is difficult. What advice would you give people?
Well, if you read all the literature on it, it says set realistic goals, but I don't. I like to set goals that are almost impossible.
Yeah.
And then even if I don't quite make it there, I do really well anyway.
Yes.
And that's my secret.
Shoot for the moon and you might hit the stars.
That's right.
Perfect. So you heard that from Jeremy right here today. Shoot for the moon, you may hit the stars. Thanks, Jeremy.
My pleasure.